What is even going on? Despite it only being 8 o'clock in the morning, I was already overworked and exhausted. I was reviewing the code for an upcoming project only to realize that I had no idea what my code was doing. Little did I know this project would continue to haunt my waking hours for the next week. Every morning it was the same routine. Get up, eat, hop on VS Code, struggle for an hour or two, and then go to class completely exhausted. Despite my best mental efforts and a ton of drawings on paper, I could not for the life of me grasp the idea behind this project, which was sorting linked lists in place. For someone like me, this project was an eye-opener. It showed me a true taste of something that no other class had given me before, which was hopeless failure. Every morning for about a week, I consistently failed to understand the concepts. I would spend hours studying them and practicing them, but I would still consistently fail. I kept failing over and over and over again. And I was thinking to myself, I'm a smart student, right? Like, shouldn't I get this? What's wrong with me? Why don't I understand this? Honestly, this was probably one of the first times in my educational career where I hit a barrier, and I was not taking it well. As someone who at the time considered myself hardworking and disciplined and successful, I saw failure as a bad thing. I mean, if you're failing, then you're not winning. And if you're not winning, then how can you be successful, right? So basically, if you're failing, you're not successful. But this project showed me something else. It showed me how important failure really is. Because while I did eventually understand the concept and finish the project and do the practice problems, I gained a lot more than computer science knowledge from this project. I learned that failure isn't a bad thing, it's just a sign that things need to change. For example, in my scenario, I realized after some reflection that the reason I wasn't understanding the project wasn't necessarily because I wasn't hardworking or disciplined. Trust me, I was really straining my mind to understand it. But the reason was because I just literally wasn't practicing the concept. Like, we went over it in class, but then I just didn't review it at all for like 2 weeks. So when the project actually came, I was like 2 weeks behind practice behind everybody else. And that kind of made me struggle. Boom. I took my failure as a sign to change. Now I'm taking the lesson I learned from that project and applying it to my real life by reviewing the concepts we learn every single day. From this one big failure, I've basically saved myself infinite amount of failure in the future of, falling behind on material and having to catch up. But imagine if I didn't fail as bad as I did. Imagine the concept was, like super easy and I was able to just scrape by with, a good grade. Where would I be in that situation? Well, if I kept not keeping up with my material, it would have eventually caught up to me, and then at that point I might have been like multiple weeks or even months behind where we were supposed to be. And I don't even know what would have happened to me then if I was this stressed out over this project. So the moral of the story is this. Failure isn't inherently bad. Failure is only bad if you don't take it as an opportunity to change. In fact, depending on where you are, failure might be the best option for you. Like, imagine you just don't like where you are right now. Like, the only way for you to really change yourself would kinda just be to fail. The way I see it, whenever you fail, as long as you take some sort of lesson away from it, you're not really failing, you're just learning. The lesson might not always be obvious behind your failure, but I can guarantee if you think about it long enough, you will find it. For example, I know a popular one is that these students study for hours upon end to cram for an exam or something. Like, they're studying 5-6 hours a day to try and memorize this material, but then when the test comes, they can't concentrate because they're sleep deprived. So the problem isn't necessarily that you're not studying hard enough, it's kind of just you're not taking care of yourself, so you can't focus as well on the test. The list of examples just goes on and on, but if there's one thing that you take away from this video, make it this. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of staying the same. Keep making progress. Bye.